Hi there, Chris Klein, the director of Butterfly Ridge Butterfly Conservation Center here in a still chilly southeast Ohio. Um, Lots of things to talk about today, but hopefully I won't go too awful late on you here. First off, we had this past week our first butterfly sighting of the year. And actually, we had three, but I think they were not all the same bug, but I think they were all the same species. But we did have on February 27, we sighted an eastern comma and got pictures of it, so that was exciting. And and then also on, let's see, I guess it was February 28, I participated in a local authors night at our local library there in Logan, and had a real good turnout there. Probably had, I'm guessing, somewhere between 35 and 40 people. And promoting, largely promoting this book, Butterfly Gardening with Native Plants, but then also talking about the same concepts that I talked to you folks about with our Landscaping for Life series as well. And for today, with our Landscaping for Life video, I want to talk about what I consider some landscaping myths, okay? And a friend of mine, actually it's a kid I used to teach way back in the day, and he's now a professional landscaper. And on his Facebook page here the other day, he had basically shared something that another landscaper that he knows had posted. And the post was about how now is the perfect time to cut back your ornamental grasses. And well, if you're landscaping for life, okay, if you're landscaping with pollinators and butterflies and bees in mind, right now is a horrendous time to cut back your ornamental grasses. And I actually did some research, and so I researched, I think I typed into Google landscaping truths or something like that. And what really came to my mind was the fact that with these Landscaping for Life videos, I am really encouraging you to do something that is very outside the norm, okay? When you type in things like landscaping truths into Google, what you're going to get are the things that gardeners and landscapers have been doing for centuries, and 99% of them have aesthetics in mind. Okay, for a lot of these folks, it's the look of your home landscape is the important thing, not whether it's actually accomplishing anything else. And so, for example, leaving your ornamental grasses up at this time of year, they've been wind blown and rained on and snowed on and that sort of thing, and they're probably starting to look a little bit raggy. And so it makes sense you cut them off so that they look neat and tidy. But once again, if you're landscaping for wildlife, if you're landscaping for pollinators, a neat and tidy landscape does not work, okay? So right now, even though, I don't know, some of you may have seen the exact same post I did from a landscaper here in Ohio, right now is an awful time to cut back your ornamental grasses. Please don't do that, okay? Likewise, right now is an awful, horrendous time to cut back your perennials. Please don't do it, all right? Because if you cut back the ornamental grasses and you cut back the perennials right now, basically you are destroying all of this summer's grass skippers and probably several of this summer's swallowtails and those sorts of butterflies. Okay, so once again, you want to wait until, for the ornamental grasses, you want to wait until you see new growth coming at the base of that plant. When you see new growth coming, then you can cut back, okay? Because most likely when you start seeing new growth at the base of that grass, that little grass skipper caterpillar inside, he has already migrated down the stem and he has started to feed on that new growth. When you start seeing butterflies flying, then it's safe to cut back last year's perennials. Because once again, some of those butterflies, those chrysalises, might be attached to the side of that perennial stem, and if you cut it back and throw it in a burn pile or throw it in a pile and bag it up, once again, you've just destroyed that butterfly. Okay, so no, now is not the perfect time to do that stuff. Okay, you want to wait until closer to spring when the weather starts to warm up. And once again, I realize what I'm asking you to do is weird. Okay, it's outside of what has been the tradition for centuries. All right, but once again, what I'm proposing, your first priority isn't looks. Okay, your first priority is the life of those pollinators. Once again, I'm very much a pro-life kind of a guy, but I think a pro-life position has to extend beyond the birthing process, and it has to extend beyond the human species. And if it doesn't, then you're truly not pro-life, okay? And so landscape from that same mentality. So yeah, so don't go cutting back your grasses yet. Don't go cutting back your perennials yet. Don't go raking leaves out of your garden beds yet. Okay, don't be doing any of that stuff yet. What you can be doing, okay, because I know people are starting to get a little itchy. If you're growing seeds indoors and you've been stratifying, I would say we're pretty close to time that you can start planting those seeds in soil. Once again, if you're doing it indoors on like the windowsill, if stuff's been stratifying for at least 60 days or so, then you're probably good to go to start planting things. For us, with our greenhouses, we're going to hold off a little bit longer because right now, as I look at the weather forecast, we still have too many days where the low temperatures are expected in the teens, and that's just pressing our luck. So I think we're going to hold off probably for at least another week or two. Other things that you can be doing is you can be watching for butterflies. And once again, this time of year, excuse me, this time of year, if we get temperatures, high 50s, low 60s, there will be commas flying, possibly question marks flying, possibly morning cloaks flying. So keep an eye for that stuff when we have nice warm days. Some folks have been asking me about volunteer opportunities here at Butterfly Ridge. And once again, for those that may be new to us, we're located in the Hocking Hills here in Southeast Ohio. And probably our volunteer opportunities that we have coming up the soonest is we do a highway cleanup project. We have a section of State Route 678 up here on the other side of Guyvesonville, and we're probably going to be setting up a cleanup up there some point in the next 2 weeks because we're leaving town on March 22nd for a whirlwind college tour out west for our daughter. And so we want to get that highway cleanup done before we head out for a week. So kind of keep an eye on that, keep an eye on the Facebook page. And then also, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be Saturday, April 27th, we're going to be transplanting some small pine trees, like little 1 and 2 foot tall pine trees out of one of our fields into our one of our pine forests that we've been working on and thinning things out. And you're certainly permitted and encouraged to help us out with that. And like I said, right now I'm leaning towards Saturday, April 27th for that project. And when we do these big volunteer days like that, we usually feed people. We're big fans of Subway sandwiches and salads here, so So usually we order out to Subway and get some of those big long subs of theirs. And then another reminder, we are looking for seasonal paid help, or like for the summer, or even, if you don't necessarily need the money and want to volunteer with us on a regular basis during the summer, that's cool too. Our summer paid positions, I'll be honest, they're ideal for college students. They start around the beginning of May, go until middle of August, so it's a perfect type of a deal for college kids. And once again, as I've shared, we do things a little bit different. And so if your interests are wildlife management and that sort of thing, then we might be a good fit for you. So contact me via email and I can get you all set up with that application process. And then, I feel like I'm talking fast, I apologize. 2 opportunities to learn more about landscaping for life and what we do here at Butterfly Ridge. I'll be doing a talk at Glen Laurel Inn, which is actually right here in our neighborhood, just on the other side of Gibesonville. And that will be Wednesday, March 6th, and I believe my talk goes from 2 o'clock until 3 o'clock. And so contact the folks there at Glen Laurel Inn to find out how you can get in on that. And then on Saturday, March 16, I'll be talking in Western Ohio at the Piqua Public Library, and I'll be there at 2 o'clock. And once again, just talking about how we have successfully tripled our butterfly population here at Butterfly Ridge, and the fact that's not rocket science, it's just knowing how to plant the right stuff in the right places. And so, feel free to listen to this again. I know I threw a whole lot at you there, but once again, don't be afraid to be different, because that, like I said, that's what we're proposing that you do. Kind of stepping out of the boat and doing things a little bit different to help our pollinators. And so with that, I'll wish you a warm week. Hopefully it warms up some. And we'll see you next Monday. Bye.